Hello Wolfpack. I want to talk today about how the market is moving in coordination, not only with crypto, but also traditional markets in reaction to the upcoming FOMC decision. There's a very clear market direction that is kind of placed and set in stone based on two separate scenarios that could happen that a lot of people seem to be brushing past. And I want to cover that in this video so you guys can be most prepared for the FOMC decision. I have identified 20.8k, in fact, the region between 20.8k and 20.5k as the critical level for Bitcoin. And I've done this in my buying plan. I have a clear buying plan on Bitcoin. The buying plan is as follows, as you can see on the screen here. It is based on three scenarios. Now, it's not a buying plan as in a prediction. It's a buying plan as in a reaction to all of the possible scenarios while utilizing the important levels to kind of confirm it. I'm looking for daily candle closes on all of these levels here. And I've kind of said, this is what I've said for the last few days, and it turns out to have played out perfectly. I've said that this buying plan is not active until after the FOMC decision, because I believe that the FOMC decision brings a lot of volatility in the market. But ultimately, the main point I'm trying to make here is this. 20.8k, in my opinion, is the critical level. And I said this about a week ago before we even touched it, and it was proven correct because look what we've been doing at 20.8k. This yellow line here is 20.8k. You can see the amount of rejections we've been having off of it for the last 5 days straight. Constant rejections off of that level. We have a critical uptrending support line that is slowly forming here on Bitcoin at 20.8k, which kind of is the lowest point we can go while maintaining this range. If you're looking for a trade here, and I highly recommend you do that, if we lose this pink uptrending line on the hourly chart, that would be an indication that we're going to reject from 20.8k, and this breakout was a failure, and that would be a clear indication that we'd be breaking down potentially towards the lower support level well, let's see on this chart here, of around 19.6k, which of course is the 2017 all-time high. So just straight off the bat, before we even get into any real analysis here, if you're looking for a short trade position, this one could be very clear. We've got a bearish divergence on the RSI. We have bearish divergence on the MACD coming in for bearish MACD crosses basically constantly. If we looked at volume, you could tell the volume is very low in this region. It's not an uptrend anymore. The move itself has lost all momentum. I want people to know that. And so if we kind of do break down from this pink line here, you could very, very easily take a trade down to 19.6k, which of course is the 2017 all-time high. Now, the only complicating factor in that trade is the fact that, as I said before, FOMC does bring volatility to the market, sometimes unprecedented volatility that lead to irrational price movements. But ultimately, that is strong TA here. And so I would expect at this point in time, a rejection off of 20.8k, as I've been saying for the last few weeks. And all of the TAs suggest that even on the daily chart, we had a breakout of the RSI triangle, the daily chart. We also had a breakout of the blue triangle you can see there. We saw a move to the upside. The spike is done. We're now getting rejected from the bull market support band and 20.8k at the same time, with no daily close above 20.8k in sight at this point in time, with bearish divergence on the daily chart as well. And obviously all that stuff in the hourly chart. So it's not looking good, right? The TA for Bitcoin doesn't look good. It looks like we're going to get rejected here. It looks like this could be a double top formation. And you know, looking at the hourly chart, it's you know, exceptionally clear that this is a strong rejection zone that is, you know, Bitcoin is very, very, very unlikely to break through without any, without any massively bullish news. And so, well, you know, before we expand on what that bullish news could be, I think it's unlikely personally, but before we understand what that could be, we need to look at the broader market. The broader market is doing the same thing. You know, if we're looking at something like, for example, the total cryptocurrency market cap, we can see, I know there's a bunch of lines in this chart, it might be a bit confusing, but essentially this uptrending line, this uptrending yellow line stemming from the June lows, we're getting rejected off that right now. And if we bring up the indicators, we can see it's a very similar story to what's going on with Bitcoin. Rejections, it's all linked up, right? Ethereum's the same thing. Looking at Ethereum, we're getting rejected off the red resistance box. We're unable to close at this point in time above the bull market support band, and just above us, we've got the 200-day SMA within that major rejection box, just to kind of add to the, add to the unlikeliness of a break to the upside there for Ethereum. We've also got bearish divergence, small bearish divergence on the RSI, and we've overbought on the RSI as well. So not only is it, and this is the thing, and there's one more chart I will say as well, which is the S&P 500, same story. Strong move to the upside off the lows, which looked good at the time, but right now getting rejected from the bull market support band and have no evidence that we're going to be breaking through that without any without any bullish news, right? So right now, the market, I'll say it right now, and this is going to be the title of the video, I'm sure. The market is exhausted, okay? This move is exhausted. We're in a rejection zone. We will most likely, if a TA has anything to say for it, this is almost, very, very, very likely to be a rejection here. It's not looking good, right? And the reason why this is concerning is because I look at my poll that I did yesterday, and I see that 41% of my audience thinks the bottom is in. Okay. Now I know that a rejection from 20.8k would not constitute a drop down to new lows alone. We could very well reject off of 20.8k, and we could very well move to the upside later on from a different price level. But at this point in time, we have to remember this. Okay, and people seem to forget this when we see short-term moves. It seems to kind of pollute their vision or distort their vision. We have to remember this. The 4-year cycle trend is the strongest trend we have on Bitcoin. Strongest trend. All the other trends they've broken. 4-year cycle trend is the one that remains. Stems from 2012 from the halving. Very clear date range trend. It's telling us the bottom is going to be in Q4. I want to briefly interrupt this video to talk about the BitGet exchange. Now, the BitGet exchange has 5 times lower fees than Binance, which is commonly referred to as the cheapest exchange in the cryptocurrency market. It's also non-KYC or voluntarily KYC, so you can stay true to the fundamental values of cryptocurrency, one of which being anonymity, of course. It's also got a security fund in there, so if you lose your funds by fault of the exchange or by personal fault, you can make a claim and actually retrieve your funds back. On top of all of this, if you sign up using my referral link, you can get access to exclusive discounts and rewards. This is the best exchange on the cryptocurrency market, and I use it personally, and so should everyone at the Wolves of Crypto YouTube channel. Now, if you're interested in actually learning how to trade for yourself, you can check out the Crypto Academy via the website link in the description below. This is a course developed by myself and Mega Crypto, a 10-unit course taking you through every single step from step 1 to step infinite about how to become a trader. Go ahead and check that out and chuck us an email at cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with the full information and payment information if you're interested. Thanks guys for watching the advertisements. Let's get back into the video. We have not seen any actual evidence of a bottom at this point. We've seen speculative indicators trigger. No evidence though, right? And we're seeing a rejection from a critical level at 20.8k. You have to ask yourself, do you trust the 4-year cycle, or do you trust some random technical indicator that you might be looking at this point in time? Especially as we reject from a major level with the bull market support band, not only on Bitcoin, not only on Ethereum, not only on the S&P, but also on total cryptocurrency market cap. We reject from all 4 of those charts from a major level that is only a 14% drop from the lows. What happens if we reject here at 20.8k? What happens? Do we drop more than 14%? I think that we do. I think that this was a dead cat bounce, and I think we will drop, and when we do, it will most likely take out the lows. Now, what goes on from there is a different question. Whether we go down a lot, whether we go down to 11.5k, whether we go down to 13.8k, I don't know. Whether we just wick down below 17.5k but ultimately hold it on a weekly candle, I don't know, because I don't have the historical evidence to make any prediction about price. What I can say is this. There are positive scenarios in which we bottom out at 17.6k, and then there are bearish scenarios like this. This is a bearish scenario. The bearish scenario says, hey, look, in the previous bear markets, we've had a red support level on the monthly chart. As you can see, it was at $323 in 2015. It was at around $6,300 in 2018. And right now, it's about $19,500. And when we lost those in previous bear markets, we saw a massive correction. That correction was around 50% in both of those markets there. Okay, so are we in tune for another 50% correction? Who knows? With diminishing returns, could be 30%, could take us down to 11.5k. We don't really know. It's very, very hard to say, right? It's very, very hard to say what happens once we take out the lows. It's something we have to analyze at the time. But I think it's very likely at this point, and I've always said this, ever since my original top prediction at 60k, I've always said it's very, very likely to bottom out in Q4, and that means we have to take out the lows if that 4-year cycle theory is to remain valid, which I think it will. Now, we're going to get into FOMC, the actual results, and what they actually could mean tomorrow, but I do want to briefly cover it in this video today, right? The market is pricing in, at this point in time, the market has priced in, okay? It's very close to FOMC, so we can assume it's priced it in already. The market has priced in a 75 basis point hike, right? The column here on the right is 83.5%. That is an 83.5% chance, according to the market, of a 75 basis point hike, and there is a 16.5% chance of a 50 basis point hike. Now, obviously, the lower the hike, the more bullish. The higher the hike, the more bearish. At this point in time, the only thing I can see that would invalidate my predictions here on Bitcoin would be a 50 basis point hike. Because if we see a 50 basis point hike, which as of right now has a 16% chance of happening, according to the market, which is very low, by the way, very low, 16% chance. But it is there. If we see that 50 basis point hike, we could have the momentum on Bitcoin, the sudden buy momentum, to break 20.8k, and hence our buying plan would trigger. Now, that would not confirm the bottom, but it would do a lot to confirm a swing to the upside that could confirm the bottom, if you understand what I said there. So look, tomorrow we'll make a video. We're going to go over all the details of the short-term analysis going into FOMC that are very, very important. But I want to leave you with these notes here. I want to leave you with these very key, very fundamental conclusions. Every single market right now, not just Bitcoin, not just crypto, every market is at resistance, strong resistance. Every market is preparing for FOMC. FOMC in 2 days, just under 2 days, will be, right, I'm telling you right now, it will be the most important day of 2022, okay? Because this is a time in which there are so many questions, there are so many different predictions about whether or not the Fed will pivot. And if they do, it will lead to bullish price actions. And if they don't, which is more likely, it will lead to continued bearish price action. Not only for the S&P, but for potentially Bitcoin. That will confirm the 4-year cycle Q4 bottom. I am a believer in the 4-year cycle. I think we will see a Q4 bottom at this point in time. And I think the only thing, in conclusion, that could stop that is a 50 basis point hike in 36 hours. Let's see what happens, guys. Again, we're going to be making one more video before FOMC, so tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a very important video. But the whole market's at resistance right now. I would not be entering any positions. I would not be entering any longs. I'd be looking for shorts. And if you're very conservative, I'd be looking to stay out of the market entirely. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.